Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Jini. Today I'm going to share this lovely little wrap with you that I made to wrap around a lavender foot mask that I found at my local store. I've used the lavender suite of products that you can find in our new mini catalog. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. I'm going to start for the stamping for this project, so I've brought in a piece of grid paper since this is going to be a stamping off method and I want to protect my work surface. I'm going to ink up the lilac image here with the Highland Heather, stamp off, and I'm going to stamp it right here in the bottom left hand corner, and then I'm going to turn it over and repeat in the top right hand corner like so. Next, I'm going to bring in this tall image with the floral, and I'm going to ink that up with the Coastal Cabana, stamp off, and I am going to bring that in and stamp multiple times, each time stamping off in between, because I want it to have this softer feel. I'm going to repeat that up in the top right-hand corner, and I've got like so. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of the lavender to the left here like that. Then I'm going to bring in my vegetation image here, ink it up with the Granny Apple, and I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to stamp it randomly after stamping off to create this kind of a collage effect with the greenery. And I can even bring that in on the sides here. I'm going to repeat that on the top. I'm varying the height of the greenery also to give it a more random feel. There we go. I've got the greenery done here on both sections, and I'm ready to move on to this little speckled image. And I'm going to use my my gorgeous grape for this, and I'm just going to bring it in and pop a few of those around randomly to add a little bit of color. And I'm going to do the same on the top. There we go. I've got my stamping done on this portion, and I'm going to bring in my little butterfly image here. I'm going to move this up so that you can see. I'm going to ink that up in the Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to pop one right down here, and then I want a single butterfly up on top. Now, since this is a photo polymer stamp, I could cut it right here between the butterflies to give me two different pieces, and then I could just line up the sections easily on my block when I want both. But another way to do it is masking. So I'm going to bring in a piece of painter's tape here, or washi tape, whatever you have. I've inked up my butterfly. I'm going to cover that up, and I'm simply going to stamp. And what that does is cover the image that I don't want, and I can remove that easily. It's that quick and easy. I'm going to bring in my basic white cardstock and my basic gray along with my sentiment and stamp it right there in the center, and I'm ready to punch it out. Now I'm going to bring in my heartfelt hexagon, punch here, line it up in the center, and punch. And I'm going to set that aside, and we are now ready to assemble. I've got my Pool Party piece of cardstock here on my scoring board, and I wanted to share with you, I found this lovely little lavender scented mask at my local store, and so I'm going to make a wrap for this. And to do that, I simply measured the package and then added the additional length that I needed in order to create the wrap. I'm going to take my Pool Party cardstock and I'm going to score it at 2 3/4 and at 7 1/2, and then I'm ready to set my scoreboard aside. At this point, I'm going to bring in my tear and tape, and I'm going to add a little bit on each side. Now this wider side, the 2 3/4 inch, is going to be my left side, and the 2 1/2 my right. So I'm going to add some tear and tape here on each end. I'm going to do this one on the top, And of course you can use a little credit card or a little tool like this, whatever you have on hand, to tear it if you need to. That's going to go to the inside, so I need to add a piece to the other side here on the reversed side, which will be the inside eventually. And I'm adding a strip on each end that's really close to the edge because I don't want there to be any extra cardstock that is catching my mask. I'm going to run my tool across each one to burnish, and I'm ready to decorate. So I'm going to bring in this little panel here, and I'm going to set it right in the center and adhere it down. Now I'm using multi-purpose for this, but you can also use the tear and tape if you prefer. You want a fairly strong adhesive for this because it will wrap around an item and it will need to have a little bit of bend to it, and that strong adhesive will make it hold better. I've got that on there, and I'm going to fold on both sides. I'm going to set my mask inside, and I'm going to set that evenly, and then I'm going to remove the tear and tape protective layer. There we go, and I'm going to turn this so I can see it better. I'm going to fold that down and then close in on each other. There we go. I've got this nice tight seam that will allow me to pull my mask in and out, but yet it's snug so that it doesn't fall out. I've got that done, and I'm going to bring in this beautiful Sale-a-bration ribbon. It is a ruffled ribbon in Pool Party, and I am simply going to take that and wrap it around the package. I'm going to make sure I have enough ribbon so that I can tie a little bow. And let's see, I'm going to do that. Now I'm not worried about where this bow is going to end up because I can slide this ribbon right or left once I have it finished. And I am going to pull those ends to the sides here, top and bottom, so that it'll be to the right and left of my sentiment. I've got that in place, and I can slide it right over here. Let's see, I think I'm going to slide it to the left, and I like that, so I can trim my ribbon 1 and 2, both ends, and then I can bring in my sentiment. Now I'm going to tuck this sentiment right in here and add dimensionals to the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to straddle both sides of the point. I set this to the side so that I know you can see it for sure, and 2 on the other. And what this is going to do is allow that ribbon to slide in between. If you prefer to add some on the 2 ends so that it stays to the ribbon also, you can, but I prefer it to just slip in between so it can be moved if need be. I remove those dimensional backings. I'm going to bring in my sentiment and adhere it down. And then, since I can't resist a little bit of shine, I'm going to bring in these purple fine gems. They come in 3 different tones, and I'm going to be using the top 2 here because I want that soft purple look. I'm going to add, let's see, a large one to the center here on both the top and the bottom. I've got those top and bottom, and I think I'm going to add a couple of the smaller stones scattered among the flowers. Let's see, I'm going to scatter 1, 2 on the bottom here, and I'm going to add 1 there on the top. That'll give me an odd number, and I'm happy with that. So there you go, a quick and simple wrap for a mask and somebody special. I hope you've enjoyed this project using the Perennial Lavender suite of products. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.